if you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you guys are interested in a personal session, check out my website, readingswithbreanne.com. Let's dive into the topic for today. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. I'm looking forward to doing a tarot, and I'm going to be doing a crystal ball reading for you guys today. And I wanted to take a look at a couple different things here. Now, in my recent live, we did touch base. I had somebody ask me a question about the UK heat waves. Apparently, they're on their third heat wave, and they were looking to see if this is Mother Earth, you know, going through certain cycles and recalibrations, or if this was more manipulated. I will say, when I did pull on this, I did get the devil. I did get quite a bit of manipulation. And I mean, the UK is a big, you know, epicenter for a lot of this propaganda and manipulation. So I wanted to see if we can dive a little bit deeper into that. But I also wanted to incorporate and look at that UK, the Air India crash. I'm a little bit late to the party, you guys. This did happen about, I believe, a month ago to the day, if I'm not mistaken. But there's been some new reports and stuff coming out that just kind of sparked my attention, and I never actually did a tarot reading on this particular topic. So if you guys can remember, back in June, I believe it was June 12th, I could be, yes, okay. Main points from the preliminary report on the June 12th crash, in which 260 people died. So this was that Air India flight 171. That crash was found. Again, you guys, looking at and incorporating numerology, the number 9s, the number 11s. Very key when it comes to plane accidents and plane crashes and incidents. 171, 789. We got the number 9 adding up with this crash. So what's interesting is we're going to dive into this. And also, when I was doing my crystal ball, I thought it was on June 11th that I seen something similar happening with some kind of issue with a plane. And then this hit the news. So very sad. So many people, so many lives lost. But we're going to take a dive into that and see what messages are coming out as well. So let's dive in. We're going to start with the question of the UK heat wave. They're on the third heat wave. So let's see what messages are coming out today. All right, so let's dive in and see what messages are coming out. I think somebody else also commented too. They've seen some stuff being sprayed in the skies, and I think that he is based in UK, if I'm not mistaken. But again, we look at UK and being part of NATO as well. You know, there is that HARP and weather style manipulation programs that really can seed and artificially sustain something similar to what is happening. So let's see what the cards have to say. Spirit, what can you share when it comes to the heat waves in the UK and whether or not this is natural versus manipulated? What can you share about the heat waves in the UK, Spirit? Six of Cups in reverse. Exact same placement, you guys. I pulled on this question on my live on Friday, yesterday. Look at this. That was what I had in the exact same question. And I did have Judgment too, if I'm not mistaken. That is so crazy. All right, let's keep going and see what's happening here. Queen of Swords. I'm going to take some of my oracles as well. So 4 of Wands in reverse and 5 of Cups. All right, and let's take an oracle. What can you share, Spirit, about these heat waves in the UK? What can you share about the heat waves in the UK, Spirit? We have the Ocean. Let's get one more. Oh, we got a lot more. I was going to say, let's get one more, but okay, so we have the Truth. We got kind of a few here. I guess we'll take them. Truth, we have the Warrior. Hopefully you guys can see all this. We have the Bardo, the Temple, and the Lovers. So we'll see if we can connect all of this as we go. All right. From what the tarot is showing and from my perspective, what I'm getting, I have to say this is the heat waves in the UK are absolutely manipulated. And I don't get here at all that is anything natural. I'm going to go into a little bit here because it's quite interesting. When we have the UK coming up as the Six of Cups in reverse, this is that innocence. It's a tainted energy. But what I'm getting at with this specifically is it is trying to cause some kind of damage to the fertility of the land or the genetic memory of it. And the heat is used as like this eraser, or I'm hearing like sterilizer. It's a sterilizer. That's what it looks like here, okay? So this is something that came flooded in. I am curious. We're going to pull a follow-up question on this because I'm wondering if this is going to continue to happen in the UK or is it going to start to fizzle out here? Because looking at this, okay, we have the eight of wands as the outcome, but when we look at the current situation, we have the devil and the present energy as the Queen of Swords here. So the Queen of Swords is a representation of trying to, you know, cut through the noise, and it's that disconnect to the emotional energy. It's also speaking here about, I feel like the public having some sense of clear awareness in the collective. And one thing that I do love is I had a bunch of comments on one of my videos saying that people are enjoying themselves. They're having barbecues, they're coming together with family, they're going to spend time with each other at the beaches. So it's really nice to see how they, you know, will push certain, let's say, agendas and then people come together. I love that. So let me know how you guys, like if you guys are out in the UK, how you guys are holding up. So I'm hoping you guys all stay safe and lots of love to all you guys. But looking at this, I do think that we have a sense of the collective, the awareness. People are sensing the distortion with that Queen of Wands. And there is a need to like really stand up here as well. It's kind of that integrity energy, and that's what I get with that warrior that's speaking out here, okay? Warrior and the truth, which is quite interesting. So the past is the judgment here, and showing the judgment is showing like a collective reckoning almost energy, okay? It's showing a lot when it has to do with karmic roots to the UK. And this Six of Cups as the UK position is also my off-worldly energy. So I think that there is a big call to awaken more people when it comes to the UK specifically. It's a huge node, a huge area. And there's a lot of governments and factions that are really trying to push agendas here, but Mother Earth and nature is trying to heal herself here. So there's a lot here when it comes to that manipulation with that devil, and it does point specifically to that geoengineering or like harp style technologies when it comes to the UK and the heat waves. Absolutely points to that. There is an artificial overlay with this situation, and the fact that I have got this in this placement twice when looking at this is a huge, like for me, a huge synchronicity, and like this is something that is manipulated, you guys. So with that being said, again, when we look at this kind of energy too, we can be looking at these certain you know, institutions pushing this sort of thing so people could be more like numbed and dependent on centralized systems, because that's the bigger plan when it comes to the smart cities, when it comes to more control, right? All right, so that comes out almost on every reading. It's quite interesting. So we have the Eight of Wands as the outcome here, and this is showing that, I have to say, based off of this is not the last heat wave that the UK is going to get. I mean, maybe we could even expect to see upper to close to 8 heat waves. I mean, we're on the third one already, but this is quite intense energy, and it does look like this is a lot of like, you know, okay, when I see this, looking at the Schumann resonance, like a lot of EMF, like bursts are playing a role. It's like I'm seeing the pulsating of them, okay? So aspecting this, you guys, we have Five of Cups and the Four of Wands in reverse. And I do think that some of the collective is in that grieving, mourning, like what has been lost, because I'm getting something big. I don't know if this is happening yet. I'm going to take a moment and see what I can see in the crystal ball. But from the energy that I'm picking up on, I'm hearing something to do with a drought, issues with food, with supply, and that sort of thing. And I think that that's a big thing that are playing a role in as well. So there is a bit of a heavy energy here, you guys. This is an energy of a lack of inner and outer stability with the Four of Wands in reverse. And there's a lot of imbalances, a lot of homes, a lot of families that could be affected by this. And I'm not speaking just on the heat itself. It's like this is going to lead to other issues, and drought is going to be, I feel like, a big one, or issues with the crops in the UK. So I'm going to just take a moment and see what I can get out of the crystal ball, and we'll go from there. All right, so I just wanted to lie out these oracles so you guys can see them a little bit better, because what I'm getting in the crystal ball is a lot linking to these oracles really here. And the big one that I'm seeing is I have a big focus, you guys, on this ocean card. So there's a couple different things that I'm getting. Again, this is not meant to be any, fear porn or doom or gloom, you guys. This is really about, again, taking your guys' power back, asking questions, tuning into your heart here, okay? But I do see a little bit of tough energy here. I mean, again, with this Eight of Wands, I do think this is something that may continue. Again, this could be upper to 8 heat waves, or within the next 8 weeks, we're going to see consistent up and down with the weather and the heat for the UK. The ocean, again, I'm getting a big drought energy or issues with potentially water supply. And I'm thinking actually drinking water supply, but I keep getting something big about crops too for the UK. So what's interesting is you see these two circles on this, look at these cards. It's a beautiful oracle deck. But you can see the top circle, and we have the bottom circle here. And I do get a lot of energy when it comes to, again, Mother Earth and Gaia taking her, she's healing here and really taking that energy and that power back. She has this intelligence, you guys. And I'm going to get a little bit more into this ocean card in a minute, but this is, again, it's a sign of spiritual and emotional connection. And my circles, you guys, the circles for me are representation of portals, okay? Portals mirror energy. And it's quite interesting because we have the one on top here, and we have a deeper, darker, denser circle on the bottom. So even though there are manipulations happening with that devil here, you guys, sure, they can manipulate, they can burn, they can try to rot things out, but it's part of a karmic clearing as well, and they cannot stop Earth's deeper intelligence, okay? And I'm so confident about that energy that's coming out here. It's it's activating fire and solar frequencies here, but it's also restructuring the grid, you guys. So it's quite interesting with what I'm seeing in the crystal ball and what I'm getting. I'm not sure if there's going to be fires in the UK, but I keep getting something to do with fire. I'm not sure if that's just them using this as a symbolism, because what I feel like saying is, again, okay, yes, what I'm getting there, hijacking the fire, but the fire itself is ancient and it serves Gaia. It doesn't serve them. That's the example that I keep getting. So it's interesting that I keep getting the fire. Think of it, you guys, again, as the fire being hijacked, but the fire is ancient. The fire beneath it all serves Gaia. It doesn't serve the manipulated systems or the manipulative factions here. So even the manipulation, you guys, does become part of a purification, okay? And that's what I wanted to share here. And, this is a big card for my ley lines, activations, and it shows that, the human systems are weakening, and they're going to weaken through different systems, through volcanic energy, from elemental memory as well. I remember I've done quite a few tarot readings on the UK, you guys, and connections to them, and there's so much galactic family. There's my galactic card yet again here. So what I can share with you guys, like with this temple, with the truth, is like this truth is activating, even though it's intense, right? But the heat is Mother Earth and Mother Gaia's shockwave, and she's reclaiming her original blueprint here. That truth is coming out. Okay, so very beautiful there. And again, when I see this these two circles, because I see these two circles in the crystal ball here, it's like a sense of the cards talking more about that surrender, the depth. It's really receiving what is hidden beneath the surface of the control, and we can see this top circle as being let's say that celestial portal, and that's like that solar, the galactic lens, the divine, the higher, the Mother Earth or Gaia's higher consciousness watching from above. It's like from above so below, right? The bottom circle is that it's deep, it's dark. Like when you see it, it's a lot darker, it's a lot more dense here. And this is that like into the abyss, right? It's the subconscious or the manipulated shadows that's coming out. And it could even link to like black holes or that voided energy where things are transmuted. Okay, we've got transmuted because we have the bardo here as well. So it feels like that lower world and the undercurrents of Earth's trauma. It's like that emotional imprint of the collective grief, because we do have grief here. It's being transmuted here. So I don't think that I don't believe in coincidences, you guys. And I mean, I see this as a big sense of portals, gateways. It's like seeing things through the lens or from a higher perspective here. So quite interesting. It's representing to wholeness. Look at the circles here, right? Very interesting. And we have that the death or in between worlds of the institutions. The Lovers, for me, it's that two different timelines, and I have the Two of Wands right here. This is my portal energy again, so there's something very much linked to the UK and portals specifically, but this is also showing like these institutions, the Lovers, is a sense of these are going between the realms and they're being dismantled here. So even though it's intense, it's chaotic, it's still purifying when it comes to Mother Earth and Gaia. So let me just ask the quick question then. Can we expect to see a continuation of more intense heat waves for the UK over the next, let's say, 8 days, 8 weeks, or maybe up to 8 more, or in total, say approximately around 8 heat waves? Let's see what comes out. All right, Spirit, what can you share about the continuing energy for the UK when it comes to the heat waves? Will this be something that continues over the next 8 weeks? What can you share with the situation in the UK, or is this going to fizzle out? What can you share? Six of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting, we had Six of Cups and then the Six of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune, King of Swords, 10 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Seeing the Six of Pentacles in this position is showing an imbalance in resources, and it does show like Mother Earth and Gaia is not being respected here with all this manipulation happening. So it is kind of like that human system that is taking and taking and taking and not giving here, okay? And that's happened it's happened for centuries. It's happened for so long here. But you guys, look at this. This is really important because the Wheel of Fortune is in the situation, and it does look like things are turning here with this energy. So this is not by accident. This is, again, manipulation. Look at that Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And we have that King of Swords in that present energy. So this is strategic energy. This is manipulation. Surprise, surprise. Again, a lot to do with certain military or like government programs where they kind of act with logic over wisdom. It's like they have their agenda and that's what they're going with. They don't really care how that's going to affect Mother Earth. The Wheel of Fortune in the situation is huge though, because it is saying that, this is a major arcana, and this is also, bigger than any one kind of agenda. So the wheels are turning, and while there is external manipulation, it still is Gaia that is initiating her own evolutionary cycles here, okay? And I have to say, it is a cosmic shift. So yes, I do think we're going to see some more heat waves for the UK and other places around the world as well. But the Ten of Cups as the outcome is showing that, this is a reconnection to Mother Earth, a reconnection to each other. Although look what it's aspecting. So there is a bit of a warning here too, because the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse. So this is showing a breakdown in community or some kind of false unity, and it's a disconnection from each other, but a disconnection from our spiritual truth. And I think that is, a big message to say. These events may continue to repeat themselves until, there is some, actual harmony that comes together and more of that inner work. So it could be a society that is choosing to ignore the inner work and work on that, and that it does require change. It does require, again, I've said this before, it's like my little slogan, inner work equals world work, okay? So many people are so focused on trying to save the world when they haven't really saved themselves. They need to look inside first. And when you do that, you are able to kind of be that anchor for others as well. So short answer, yes, I do see, unfortunately, some more heat waves that will hit. Some will be manipulated, and some will be more like purging from Mother Earth as well, okay? So I want to switch gears and... All right, let's dive into this Indian crash. Now, again, this did happen approximately a month ago. This is the first time I've actually pulled on this actual topic. So I'm gonna ask just a general question as well. But this is flight 171. Pay attention to the numerology, you guys. Do a little bit of digging yourself, because I've done this in the past. Dates of plane crashes, flight numbers, seats, look at that. Like the number 9s, the number 11s are very linked to it. And I've also found the number 8s as well, like 1, 7, and that really link up to issues with flights. Now, interesting enough, we also have the one survivor that was in seat 11A. Coincidence? I think not, you guys. That is quite incredible. So let's see what, I wanted to pull a general energy to see what's coming out when it comes to the question, was this just an actual error or was this manipulated? There has been recent reports here, and that's what kind of sparked my attention of wanting to do a tarot pull on this, because there was, I guess, they were looking at the black box, or there was some report saying that in the cockpit there was a voice recording. One of the pilots is heard asking the other, why did you cut it off? And he's referring to the engine's fuel. And it says the other pilot responded that he did not do so. So again, turning off the fuel says requires the operation of 2 switches centrally located on the flight deck, and neither of them which are a simple push button that could be brushed against accidentally or moved without force. All right, so let's take a look and see what the tarot has to say about this. Let's start with a question of, did one of the pilots purposely switch off or cut off the fuel here? Was this purposely done by one of the pilots? So let's take a look and see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so this is the pilot's Wheel of Fortune situation. 3 of Cups in reverse. Wow. All right. All right. So the fact that we have the Wheel of Fortune over the pilots here with the situation, this is quite interesting, you guys. I do think, again, this is a perspective, no facts, it's a tarot reading. I do see this energy as a representation of one of those pilots doing something they shouldn't have been doing here. But look at this, because this is suggesting this is forces beyond just human will that were influencing this event. And it's like, there's something about getting caught up in higher manipulation. It's not just employees flying a plane. There's something about a cosmic pressure point. And I don't know why this image is coming up. Well, I can dig into it after, but I keep seeing minions, you guys. And all the yellow, like the minions and like the movie, the little minion guys, they keep coming up here. Okay, so I'm gonna look into that a little bit deeper with the crystal ball in a few moments here, but absolutely, I feel like there's something being blocked. Now look at this, okay? I'm getting here 6 of Pentacles. I do think somebody on this plane had information. I don't know if there was a high political figure or this could be like a diplomat or something of that matter, having some kind of information. I have surveillance here. I have the Emperor in reverse, and this is something that is not wanting to get. There are higher level of let's say factions that do not want this information to get out. And this is quite interesting because, again, this is corruption being suppressed, and the 3 of Cups over my situation is showing a betrayal. So if we look at the crew, the team specifically, this one's for the pilots, the situation, someone here is on a different page. Okay, they are not, the 2 pilots were not on the same page here, and it feels like this could be somebody that was going along with something, or you know what I mean? There was some level of corruption here. Very crazy. Wow. Because the Emperor in reverse for the outcome to you guys is showing, you know what, honestly, this is showing like the aviation system being compromised itself. How many plane crashes, how many issues have we had with planes in 2025? Probably more than I can even count at this time. I don't even know. There's been so many, and we're only halfway through the year. So it feels like this could absolutely be a compromised energy, and this is an abuse of power as well. So it could be somebody have been using their position and power to do something under certain orders, and minions, you know, they are everywhere. Okay, I know they talked about these pilots, you know, they weren't rookies, they were very much you know, they knew what they were doing, but that doesn't, you know, it doesn't account for the fact that there's so many when we look at these higher level, you know, systems, these corrupt systems, they have their little minions working for them everywhere, in every which corner, from, again, aviation to, you know, the court systems. There's no lack of that. So when we're looking at this, it's like lies, this is surveillance. It's like there is suppressed truth. Somebody does know more, and this could be a bit of like, again, blackmail or a fear of if they didn't follow through with some kind of you know, structure, they were being pushed to do so. So very interesting. Lots of secrets here, you guys, lots of secrets. So from my perspective and what the cards are saying, I do think that there's a lot of energy to support that the pilot, one of the pilots, did intentionally mess something up here. Wow. Okay, I wanted to pull some cards on the one survivor. I also heard reports too, or people talking about whether he was actually on the plane or whether it was like a setup. So let's just pull on this one survivor who was apparently in 11A. All right, so let's pull some tarot on this one survivor, Vishwash Kumar Ramesh. I don't know if he has spoken too much since. I just, put his name in the internet here, and there isn't a whole lot that's recent. Most of this is from the 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. So let's see, Spirit, what can you share about this individual, Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, the only survivor on this flight? All right, so he's coming up as King of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. The Devil in reverse, but that's in the past. We have Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Four of Cups, and the Two of Swords reversed. I have some really interesting energy coming out here, and I feel like I actually have to ask a specific question because I'm getting either there could be a potential of this is very much a, let's say, what we would call a miracle here. I have also seen a video of the crash and then him walking out with his phone behind some building. It kind of doesn't sit that great with me, but I have to say, you know, I do think miracles can happen. But I want to ask the actual question though, because with this energy that came out, there is either a part of this that absolutely it could be a miracle here, or this is also not who we think it, like we're not being told who he is. Like, was he actually on that flight? Let me ask that specific question before we dive into this one. Spirit, can you confirm with the question? Let's ask, was this individual, Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, was he physically on this plane when it crashed? Was he on this plane crash? King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Three of Wands, and the World. Okay. All right, so I just have to share what the cards are saying, you guys, okay? King of Pentacles, this is a really grounded energy, and I feel like based off of this is showing he's too grounded for the chaos of surviving that plane crash, okay? This is a feeling of being well prepared. This is the feeling of orchestration. I have to say it is the feeling of pre-positioned here. That's what I get, you guys. Nine of Cups as well in this energy is showing a satisfaction of getting something that was desired. And the reason too why I wanted to specifically ask this question is because there's some energy coming out when we pulled on him that makes me a little, I don't know, hesitant, because Queen of Pentacles in reverse over that situation, and we have the Nine of Cups. We're going to go over that in a moment. But again, this is kind of about somebody being satisfied with how the public perception or the media is responding to it. It feels manufactured, you guys. I mean, please don't come for me. This is just what I'm getting from this reading. I do think, again, miracles happen, especially with, you know, situations like this. I don't think things like this are a coincidence, but there is a lot of stuff happening beneath the surface. We had that moon last time, okay? So Three of Wands is also expecting results for something that is planned in motion. We've got that liftoff, that takeoff. We have that expansion going overseas here. And within the question of asking, like, is Vishwash, was he actually physically on that plane when it crashed? It suggests, like, it really suggests that this is more of something that was already behind him when it comes to a thinking in terms of the long term. It's like a planned game here of like what's happened after the crash, not necessarily during it. So it's almost like a strategic tone, not a survival tone. And that's what I get, you guys. So I feel like he's reacting. I seen just a little bit of him, you know, speaking, I guess, from the hospital bed with one of the reporters. But from that energy here, it's really just suggesting him stepping into a role here, not really reacting to the trauma of it. And again, part of me wants to say differently, but this is just what I'm reading from the cards. This is not okay? Just from the cards, my friends. So let's get into this. I do think that this could be like some kind of a staged closure. We have that wheel or world on the back of the deck. Oh, world, and we have the Chariot, which is my card for travel, planes, etc. So let's dissect the actual tarot spread that we got, because this is what I got from his energy, and him coming out as the King of Swords here. And this is, of course, an energy when it comes to a very sharp intellect, but this is an authority. I could also be some kind of a stage intellect where this could absolutely be, the real person, but chosen to be a face of survival. There's something here about playing a part or being briefed on what to say, okay? So that's coming out here, suggesting maybe he was not that original person in 11A. We have the Page of Cups, which is coming out here as an emotional story behind it as being crafted. Yes, it appears as like a miracle, but it could be kind of PR coded here with that energy. And the thing is, this is also one of the signs of a controlled narrative, in a way to direct public attention away from deeper questions as well. The thing that really kind of threw me off though when we first pulled two, I was like, oh, a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a payout. This is an incentive here. It's something that's not grounded in truth and is managed optics. And that's why I wanted to ask that exact question. Because again, the past, it's like slipping through or escaping to, right? We have that Devil. And I feel like there's kind of that narrative of like somebody not being meant to survive, but there's also an energy here of somebody being involved with the event when it comes to tracking or planning or something bizarre like that. So I gotta say, I just get so many red flags with this tarot spread where I'm really questioning it. So please let me know your guys' thoughts. Maybe you guys have dug into the story deeper. To be honest, I've just done a bit of surface level looking, so I'm always open to hearing your guys' side. All right, Knight of Cups as the outcome too. This is, again, manipulation. Like, why? There is so much manipulated energy when it comes out to this person. So this could be him being kind of forced or pushed into saying or doing something. But I have to say, this is reading from a script, or just being even not emotionally connected to that, what really happened, which makes me really go back to that question. Was he physically there? That's a very traumatic event that he would have went through. So it really represents it reveals a misrepresentation, okay, of him. We have Four of Cups and the Two of Swords aspecting that, and I feel like this is also showing that the public is allowed to kind of isn't being allowed to choose what to believe here. It's really given a narrative for them here. So that's what I'm getting when it comes to this whole story. So overall, there's a strong energy of either deception or like some kind of like PR handling here. Let's just pull a card on one of our lovely oracles because they come out so accurately. Can I get another confirmation? Are we seeing this right, Spirit? When it comes to fish wash, we have the Vessel. Let's get one more. The Vessel and the Mass. See, so what that indicates to me is either he was placed in this role after the fact, or there's some kind of thing where his identity, his backstory are partially or fully fabricated, you guys. That's what keeps coming out. I can't believe we have the Vessel and the Mask here. So interesting. So again, I want to just wrap up with with, again, the end of this vessel and the mask really does feel like there's some kind of deep depth or consciousness masking here when it comes to the situation. But I also seen those minions. Remember those minions I kept seeing? So when we're looking at that could represent even like enforcers of like a bigger system when we're looking at control, AI, that sort of thing. But they could also be like, you know, energy parasites to really distort the truth here, because we have that devil in the past, and it feels like they are, you know, more or less that smiley mask that is, you know, hiding the darker agendas here. So this is quite crazy. I really didn't expect it to take this turn, to be honest. But I guess I'll leave that with you guys. Please let me know if you guys have more questions. I would even be open to do another read on this, because it kind of totally took a completely different turn than I thought. So anyway, I love you guys a lot. I hope you guys are doing phenomenal, staying safe during these crazy times. I'm wishing you guys all the best, my friends. And until next time, bye for now.